Imagine this: a nation stands at the foot of a mountain that trembles and smokes. They've just witnessed the most incredible display of power imaginable. They heard the very voice of God, a voice that shook the earth and their very souls. Their leader, Moses, has gone up into that cloud of fire and glory to receive the law, the divine blueprint for their society. 40 days and 40 nights, a promise was made. They were to wait. But waiting is hard, isn't it? Especially when you're in the middle of a vast, unforgiving wilderness. The days stretch into weeks. The silence from the mountain becomes deafening. Fear, that old familiar whisper, starts to creep back into their hearts. Where is Moses? Did the mountain consume him? Has this God who brought them out of Egypt abandoned them? The uncertainty is a weight, pressing down on them, suffocating their newfound faith. Doubt is a seed, and in the fertile ground of fear, it grows fast. The people, restless and anxious, gather. Their murmurs turn into a roar. They approach Aaron, Moses' brother, the one left in charge. "Make us a god," they demand, "a god who will go before us. As for this Moses, the man who brought us up out of Egypt, we don't know what has happened to him." Think about that pressure. The entire nation, a sea of fearful faces, is looking at Aaron. He's a leader, but he's also human. Did he feel the same fear? Did their panic infect him? He makes a fateful decision. "Take off the gold earrings that your wives, your sons, and your daughters are wearing, and bring them to me," he says. And they do, eagerly. They strip themselves of their precious gold, the last remnants of their life in Egypt. It's a symbolic act, isn't it? They are literally giving away their past to forge a new, tangible future. Aaron takes the gold, melts it down in a fire, and with a craftsman's tool, he shapes it. What emerges from the flames is a calf, a golden calf. A hush falls over the crowd, quickly replaced by a roar of approval. "This is your God, O Israel, who brought you up out of the land of Egypt," they cry. It's a shocking moment. How could they forget so quickly? The plagues, the parting of the sea, the divine voice from the mountain, all of it replaced by a lifeless statue of their own making. Aaron, perhaps trying to regain control, or perhaps swept up in the madness, builds an altar before the calf. He declares, "Tomorrow is a festival to the Lord." He tries to blend the old faith with this new idol, to sanctify this rebellion. But you can't mix the sacred with the profane. The next day, the scene is one of wild abandon. They offer sacrifices, they eat, they drink, and they indulge in revelry. They have traded the awesome, unseen glory of God for a party around a golden cow. They chose something they could see, something they could touch, something they could control. They didn't want a king, they wanted a pet. They didn't want a savior, they wanted a mascot. But they have forgotten something crucial. Up on the mountain, the conversation isn't over. God sees, he sees everything. He turns to Moses, and his words are like thunder. "Go down, because your people, whom you brought up out of Egypt, have become corrupt. They have been quick to turn away from what I commanded them." The disappointment, the divine sorrow, is immense. Moses pleads for his people. He reminds God of his promises to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He stands in the gap, a mediator between a holy God and a rebellious nation, and God relents. But the consequences of their actions are yet to be faced. Moses descends from the mountain, his face glowing with a divine light, the 2 stone tablets in his hands, tablets inscribed by the very finger of God. As he and his young apprentice Joshua get closer to the camp, they hear the noise. Joshua, the warrior, thinks it's the sound of battle. But Moses, with a heavy heart, knows better. It is not the sound of victory, it is not the sound of defeat. It is the sound of singing that I hear. And then he sees it. The calf, the dancing, the utter betrayal. His anger, a righteous fury, erupts. He throws the tablets to the ground, shattering the divine law at the foot of the mountain, a perfect symbol for the broken covenant. He seizes the calf they worshipped, grinds it into powder, scatters it on the water, and makes the Israelites drink it. He forces them to ingest the very symbol of their sin, to feel its bitterness in their own bodies. This story isn't just about ancient people in a desert. It's about us. We all have a tendency to create golden calves. What are yours? Is it money? Is it success? Is it the approval of others on social media? Is it a relationship? Anything we place on the throne of our hearts, anything we look to for security, identity, or deliverance other than God, is an idol. These idols always promise freedom but deliver slavery. They promise life but lead to emptiness. They are silent, powerless statues of our own making. The story of the golden calf is a powerful, timeless warning. It calls us to examine our own hearts and ask ourselves, what are we really worshiping? Where are we placing our ultimate trust? Let's learn from their mistake and choose to wait for the true and living God, even when the silence is deafening and the mountain is covered in cloud. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that dives deep into these timeless truths. See you next time.